Hello, welcome. Today, I would like to introduce you to Janet. Before we get into that, what I would like to do is talk about how we need to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and how the colonial constructs have actually really damaged some of this land. Now, Janet is one of those contributors who's doing something about that in helping with running a community garden.
Nice to see you, Amy.
So tell me a little bit about your community and how you run this community garden.
The community garden has been in existence for 10 years. I started about 9 years ago, so I'm not the initial, one of the initial starters. But essentially, anyone can come and come along and help. We have a variety of different jobs, mainly related to growing plants. But there's always jobs like, erecting beds, so carpenters would be welcome as well. We work on a permaculture basis, so no organic, no herbicides are used, or generally no fertilizers. We've been trying to just use what we have on the land to grow things. We're lucky there's actually a field next door with a horse, so we get free manure. But
Amazing.
so a lot of our jobs would be plant-based, whether it's weeding, growing plants, and one of the benefits from the garden's point of view is sharing the produce. So, when there's lots of tomatoes or peas or whatever it is, we all go home with a bag full.
What's it like being part of that community? Have people worked in the community garden for a long time? Are there new people that work there, or they might come for a couple of days and then, give it a few months and then come back? What's the structure of it, and how do people work in that space?
Yeah. Look, we've got all of that. We've got one man who's been there longer than me, so he's been there since the inception. A couple of people who've moved away at about the time that I joined. Would you believe it? Just in the last couple of weeks, since we've been allowed to have a larger gathering with social distance, we've actually had one man who brought two of his neighbours along, and they've come for 3 or 4 times, and another man has come off his own bat as well. So it's interesting with the COVID issue, because we were only allowed to have 2 people meeting at each time. So 2, rather than having 4 of us on a Saturday, we had 2 on a Saturday, 2 on a Sunday, and two of the same people on Tuesday. So we actually increased our person hours per week during productivity time. But then now we're back. We've got 6 or 7 on a Saturday. So I suppose you'd say peaks and plateaus. We've had some people come, and one lady, she's come with a baby, and then she had that was a toddler, and she came with a second baby. And there's no limit in terms of age or even skills. You don't need to be a gardener to come. I like gardening in my own garden, but I learned so much from helping with the community garden. And you never know everything, and somebody will say, well, here, perhaps we try it this way. So we're always experimenting with different ways, and there's no right or wrong way about it, and we all get a say in what we want to do.
Yeah, that's brilliant. What would be one of your favourite moments or experiences working in the community garden?
I think the morning teas are really important. The socialisation and the company, reconnecting with people. I suppose the other thing is I'd just love to see when there's a harvest, something's actually growing and going to produce something we can eat. It's just, one thing is to sow the seed and see them actually starting to germinate. But when you've got something that you can actually eat, it's just great, I think, to see how nature has produced that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you mentioned earlier that you're in need of a carpenter. The group's in need of a carpenter. Are there other ways that community could help?
We've just been fortunate to get a grant, which will be for a water tank. we're not actually on mains water where we are, and we have one water tank that almost ran dry in the drought in December, and we've got a grant, well, the money's about to come through for a second water tank. So things like connecting that water tank to our water would be, well, we can do it, but it takes our time away from the gardening activities. So somebody who can do that sort of thing, and also up till recently, we've had quite a lot of mowing that we have to do in the summertime. So when we only had 2 or 3 people turning up every second week, someone was mowing, and they're not difficult jobs. It's just time consuming.
Yeah. And that grass
Yeah,
grows so quickly. I'm struggling to manage my own backyard.
So, and we the last couple of people who've joined recently, actually, they're artists, and you think, well, they just like to garden and get outside as well. You don't have to be a gardener or a horticulturist or have any skills to come along. And I said, the mortgages are great. We love the socialisation too.
Where can we reach out to find out more information around, getting involved, what days are good to come, all those sorts of things?
Okay, we do have a website, which is midbluemountains.communitygardens.wordpress.com. And so you'll get a little bit more information from that. And also the BM Neighbourhood Centre has information about us as well.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for that. It sounds like it is a really good opportunity to connect with people, and a great way to look after mental health. So that's really awesome.
Yeah. The address is 5 Queens Road, Lawson, in the ground Kaihilla. So 5 Queens Road, Lawson.
5 Queens Road, Lawson.
We meet on Saturdays between 9 and 12.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for that. Have a lovely day. And if you liked this information and content, please feel free to like, share, and follow. Thanks. Bye.